Welcome back to the LEC studio. Thanks to Misfits, SK Gaming are still in the race for playoffs. Now they need to win both of their last games, starting here against the UK underdogs XL Esports, and they will also need some help from Schalke 04 to take down Vitality tomorrow. One of the interesting things is, it doesn't matter how the rest of the games play out. If SK want to make it into playoffs, it will be through a tiebreaker game with Vitality.
It is a two-step process, and step number one, the most important one right now, win your game. Then you need Vitality to also lose, and you need to win again. Their final game will be against Origin of all teams, and then they can force the tiebreaker. So SK Gaming, your hopes are still alive.
It is beautiful that the teams that are competing for those final spots in playoffs are also playing off against one another. Origin versus Rogue later today, and potentially Origin versus SK tomorrow. Let's turn our attention to this game. How do SK beat XL today?
I think the first thing has to start with Selfmade versus Kadril. Of course, we're going to hone in on both these junglers. XL have had an exceptionally clean early game, and that is with Kadril's pathing. So for me, I want SK Gaming to give power to Selfmade and GenX to make sure that they can compete with this 2v2 and get things going for SK Gaming so they don't fall so far behind in the first 15 minutes.
Okay, let's see if the draft works out for Selfmade and GenX straight out the gate. Corki taken off the table. No real surprises there, as well as the Yuumi. Taking a look at David Lim for XL, as well as Realistic. David Lim's done a fair amount of good work with this XL roster, who on the second half of the split, once they've committed to these 5 players, has started to be a thorn in the side of many teams here in the LEC.
Yeah, and I think XL, for me, aren't necessarily representative about where they sit in the standings. I actually think they're a really solid mid-tier team, maybe even pushing into 5th place, 4th place, depending on the day. I think XL are above and beyond where they've placed, and it was just a lack of synergy, a lack of time to get that magic formula working for them.
And technically, these 5 players started playing in the middle of the split with a handicap. They inherited a bunch of losses, and they tried to pull things back. We are rounding out phase 1 of the bans here. It is Corki, Aatrox, and Sylas, followed by the Yuumi, Sejuani, and Irelia.
So things like Karma are still up and available. We'll see if XL snap lock that one, or if it's going to be maybe reaching for something different. I don't think it's going to be Charvin. Karin, I think we're done with that.
Yeah, especially with Yuumi off the table. Would love to see Jeskla and Mystiques playing it, especially because it was in the UK Premiership that the first time we saw the Garen Yuumi combination. We'll be locking in Akali for his team. We anticipate that to go to Mickey's hands, who has already played it, and the near insta-lock response of Qiyana.
And it was going to be a question, which one are you going to get? Are you going to get the Akali? Are you going to get the Qiyana? You need to make sure that you play both, because that seems to be the clear option for SK Gaming. Leave open the big power pick assassins like the Akali and Qiyana, and just pick up whichever one XL don't grab.
Okay, so what does this mean for the rest of the draft then? We've got those assassins locked in, with the Gragas now secured on the side of SK Gaming. We anticipate the Qiyana to be solo lane and not jungle. And now there's a couple of options that Kadril will need to figure out if we assume this is mid-jungle duo.
Yeah, and you would assume even if that Qiyana goes up to the top lane, technically, like you're saying, could be flex, Qiyana triple flex as well as Gragas double flex. But I would love to see this be the mid-jungle duo, and again, kind of the Misfits treatment. Just camp that lane. Get this Qiyana snowballed ahead because you have the AP Gragas, the AD Qiyana.
I do like the Zyrakan lock-in here for Jeskla and Mystiques. We know they can utilize that pick, those picks rather, effectively well. Taking a look down the list, Jeskla, Xayah, 2 games played, actually no wins just yet, but the team will be able to turn this one around, and now it'll be up to Dreams and Crownshot to figure out the answer. We get another Tahm Kench, once again locked in for a slightly more defensive bot lane. We know Crownshot could go Ezreal if it's not banned out in the second phase.
And I have a feeling that they're probably going to target Crownshot's Ezreal just to make sure that they get some kill pressure on this lane. That said, maybe if they go that route, Crownshot will probably reach for something like the Varus. So you're probably going to get a lot of wave clear and a lot of safety out of Crownshot and Dreams for SK Gaming's bot lane. Because again, it feels like with Qiyana and Gragas, that is going to be the focus for the jungle in the early parts of the game.
That's exactly what you wanted from SK. You wanted jungle mid power, you wanted Selfmade and GenX to be able to work together, and if you've got a reliable, self-sufficient duo, well, then Selfmade only has to focus in 1 or 2 lanes.
But now we're going to learn a lot about XL, about what they want to target out. And here we go. So there's the Ezreal. We just talked about it. If they want to double down, then you probably take the Varus next, and you maybe force Crownshot into a Caitlyn or an Ashe pick. Or they could have gone the other option and tried to pinch for top lane and really find a good top lane matchup. So this tells me that they want to be able to play through their bot lane, that they want to empower the Zion Rakan to have kill pressure in this lane.
If the drafts play out the way we're expecting, that XL go bot and SK sort of go mid, then it'll be very fun to see how you execute, how Vision is played out, how early jungle pathing impacts the decision making. And look, there's the Renekton taken away, so removing some strength from that top.
I know Expect has the Rumble in his back pocket. I feel like it'd be a lot of magic damage heavy, especially when you have the Akali already. But I would actually also love to see him lean towards something like a Gangplank if they're going to prioritize, you know, pinching away crown shot safe champions to give Jessica and Mystique's more power or ability to kill in that lane. Like the Mordekaiser.
Okay, so that's interesting. There was a Mordekaiser hover from SK Gaming, and it has been taken away. As SK are on the red side, you mentioned the Varus earlier as a potential ban, and right now Crownshot's going to lock it in.
But we knew that this was going to happen, which means Excel also knew. So they took their chances. Now it's kind of the test. What do Excel round their composition out with? Do they go for something like Expect's Rumble, or are they going to go for the blind pick Gangplank to, again, offer more cross-map pressure towards this bot lane of Zion Rakan?
What would you prefer to see?
I mean, Gangplank's made a huge resurgence. They can try to hide it. Looks like that's what they're going to do, especially with the Mordekaiser ban. Maybe they're hoping that they can get a counter pick. I know Expect is more of like a skirmish-heavy top laner. He can definitely pop off and be a carry.
He absolutely can. Now, Aatrox is removed from the pool. Looking down the rest of the options, Chase, Irelia, Maud, Nico, Poppy, options that he's run in the past. And with Olaf locked in for Kadril, a lot of strength and skirmishes and mobility here on the side of XL, and it's going to be the Rumble. You talked about the pocket pick many, many times, Froskuren. Finger on the pulse once again for draft. And I like what I'm seeing for XL. They are a team that know how to utilize their power spikes correctly. And I see some strong combinations here, no matter where they play on the map.
Yeah, and my rule is usually with Rumble ultimates, that's kind of the first two are the most important ones, so we will keep our eyes on Expect to see if he really lives up to this pocket pick of his Rumble. As the last pick comes in, and Karma came all the way through the ban phase.
Are you surprised by that?
No, I mean, Sakura is known for kind of playing his range mid top laner, so this definitely fits into his wheelhouse. He's against a Rumble, so it's about shoving waves back and forth. Also has decent gank attempt if they get the 2v2, knowing where Olaf is. Not 2v2, I should restate. 2v1. Okay. If Olaf's there, it's a bad time.
Well, we'll see whether or not Kadril can get a good read on it. I would think, if I were to anticipate which jungler would have a better read on their opponents, Kadril's the man I'd be leaning towards. With recency bias and seeing how well Kadril has developed, I actually spoke at length last week about how he's impressed me over the 2019 season. Now, can XL deny SK Gaming's chances and really knock them out of playoffs, play heartbreaker in this game?
And it also puts pressure then on SK Gaming. You know, the future is in their own hands. They can do this. They just need to win the game. But we've seen pressure across this squad. It hasn't felt like morale is that high. So it's show up or shut up, SK Gaming. This is it.
You said that. Morale isn't high. Last week, even after winning a game, in the post-match interview, the players are just really down and out. And it's because of the struggles that SK have faced all split long. Now, there's a final breath of life. If SK win now, their chances at playoffs are still alive. Welcome back to game 2 of week 9, the second to last day of the regular season. SK Gaming now have been given a little gift as they are looking towards playoffs. I absolutely love the XL fans every week here in Berlin. They are a small but dedicated crew. They cannot sing, but I appreciate their attempts.
Whoa.
I'd like to turn my attention
So uncalled
to
for.
SK's chances really quickly, Frosk. Because as I do keep saying, and I know we keep like pointing it out, but it is really crucial in order to understand how this works. SK need to win versus XL and OG. They need Vitality to lose, and then there will be that tiebreaker game at the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, step 1, win here. Step 2, Vitality lose. Step 3, beat Origin. Step 4, profit.
Yeah, definitely the case. We'll have to see whether or not SK can. Let's turn our attention back to game now. Mid-jungle was the expectation for SK. When I said to you, how do they win? You said get Selfmade and Genax some power, get them something they can work with. Gragas,
got
Qiyana,
it.
you can work with, right? There are tools there.
There's also some creative pathing that's happening here. So Karma is doing a ghost leash. She has feigned that she has leashed the red buff, and Selfmade is actually starting on the blue buff here. So there was a ward from Kadril's team that went on the Raptor camp, so they're trying to figure out where Gragas is. But SK Gaming know that that ward has been placed, so I'm curious how long that they can hide this Gragas pathing and what Selfmade is going to do with it.
Okay, we'll find out as now the trades in the bottom lane. Jeskla and Mystique go in early. Ignite traded for the heal. Summon a spellbook on the side of Dreams. And a little tidbit there that SK Gaming, this split, 0-6 on red side.
It's an underdog story.
It is indeed. That's a flash blown already, but is Mystique's in trouble? There's a Devour potential in a moment. That's a flash forward. One more auto will do it. Dreams, gobble, gobble, gobble. Jeska's the next target is Crown Shot. Should be gifted this one. It's a kill apiece for SK Gaming.
And Crown Shot and Dreams strike first, keeping Dreams alive in this playoff hope. We just saw the graphic. It pinged down, says they never win on red side. This is the Varus the Kench versus the Rakan and the Xayah and Jeskla and Mystiques. They've messed this up multiple times in the early levels, level 1 and level 2. In the very beginning of the split, they fell into a trap like that. Overreach and then immediately punished.
Is it a trap if you start yourself?
They did it twice. They did the same thing.
Face plant. It's a face plant. Mystiques initiated the play, and look, all credit to Crown Shot because he did flash. He didn't go, oh, it's level 1, you know. He respect flashed and instantly turned it around.
Yeah, and it's the fact that he doesn't have the he doesn't have the ability to get out once he's in, and then Tahm Kench is like, this is fine.
Yeah.
Just flashes in, make sure that he can lock him down, and then, like you said, they gift this one over to Crown Shot.
I mean, during the play-by-play, I actually didn't even realize they were level 1. I was waiting for the Devour. Dreams only had Tongue Lash available. He couldn't even swallow him up if he wanted to. And at the end of the day, 2 kills secured, so Crown Shot comes back to him with a Vamp Scepter to complement the Doran Shield. 3 control wards in the bottom lane already. And that is how, if you have a shot at playoffs, you want to start a game. That is a great confidence play for one of the lanes that was really supposed to just be on their own, just be chilling, and the rest of SK was supposed to be playing League of Legends.
Now that said, everyone did burn their summoner spells and their flashes, so both AD carries do have TPs. They walked back into the lane, and yeah, you're dealing with the control ward advantage here for Dreams, but until he actually gets access to the river, it's not going to mean much. The bigger thing is the Vamp Scepter, so the ability for Crown Shot to continue to lay down poke, and then to win that elongated poke war here as a gank mid.
That's a dead mid. Mickey just blown up. Selfmade and Genax, they commit their flashes. And you could see Mickey, he knew something was up. He was kind of hinting as if he wanted to put vision down and just got dunked.
He did put the vision down, he just died for it.
There we go. Cost wards save lives, I'm told. Not today for Mickey. 0-1. Now, he was pushing the wave pretty heavily and was bullying Genax. Mickey has access to flash while Genax does not, so there's a lot of juicy targets for follow-up action.
So we get another replay of this one. Mickey doesn't get to move here. There's the ward. Good night. Do you need more on that?
Is there much to analyze there, Frosk?
I mean, they CC chained him.
They did indeed. Kadril's going to keep throwing out the undertows and the reckless swings. Selfmade throws down the smite for some heal. But this is kind of what you want to see when you have an Olaf from the side of XL, trying to bully the opposite numbers. XL are down 1,600 gold. They're down 3 kills already. And you definitely don't want to be seeing a Qiyana and a Varus getting fed at this stage of the game. Mystique keeps trying to fish for opportunities. Selfmade's making his way down. I didn't see if he threw the Predator or not. Here comes Dream. This time around, he will be able to devour. Crown Shot stays alive for a few seconds longer, and the second kill of the game goes to Crown Shot. SK, this is beautiful.
And you can see it on Selfmade's face. He has just the hint of a smile there. He was just there as kind of like the morale to walk that one into Crown Shot's waiting arms. And again, XL knew that this was coming, that it was going to be the Varus and the Kench. They gave it away, and it is grossly getting out of their control.
And you absolutely cannot deny the fact that Jeskla and Mystiques are the ones starting these fights. They're jumping forward, and Crown Shot and Dreams are punishing them over and over and over.
It's a really dangerous spot for the wave, so if we can actually get the observers to look down bottom one more time, you can see that Crownshot and Dreams have held that wave in front of their tower, and with Jessica and Mystique not having flash, it's really scary. It feels bad at this position. Eventually, they're going to have to call someone to help them reset this wave, or slowly wait for it to do.
Well, there's 1,000 gold advantage for Crownshot already. He's up 15 CS, 2 kills and an assist. And every single time I see Dreams waddle forward, I just think a bird's going to get eaten.
No one is coming to help them.
Well, I don't think they need help right now. Dreams and Crownshot, that is. Playing the patient game as much as possible, trying to deny as many CS as possible as well.
And again, they had the 3 caster creeps, which held the wave there, and Selfmade has made his way over there, so now that the wave is going to push back, it's going to be really big. And on this crash, there's the potential that SK Gaming look for a dive. Now, teleports are available for both top laners.
There's no flash available for Jessica Mystiques for a few more seconds.
This is the crash, and then this is the setup for the dive. So you have a ton of minions funneling in.
All right, diving forward. The minions will be helping out. Tunglash comes out. Selfmade throws out the barrel. Some time is bought. Mystiques get a knockup. Dreams is in trouble. One more tower shot might just kill him, but it will not be in range.
Round 2.
JerAx has made the roam down bottom. He's got himself an ultimate. Will not be enough just yet, but the follow-up kit is. It's a double kill for JerAx and the 6th of the game for SK.
What? It's an oopsie.
Oh man, do we have his pro view? Did he misclick? I don't know if we can actually check that, but
I'd like to check the tape, please. Okay, so the dive didn't go as planned. Not the first time, and not the second time. That said, Qiyana now has 3 kills. That feels good.
That feels exceptionally good. JerAx and Qiyana, they managed to at least turn it around. Yes, there was 1 additional kill donated, but it went to Mystiques, not to Jessica. Equalizer comes down with the help of a little bit of a comment. Here comes Kadril. He's running in, got the ultimate available if needed. We'll decide to throw it down in a moment or two. Reckless swing, kill will be donated to Mickey. The cost of a flash, so a little bit expensive, but they get their kill and they get out.
Actually really well played by Kadril there to make sure that he didn't take the last tower shot by using the flash. And good job for Excel to recognize, hey, bot lane, not going our way. Let's instead try to figure something else up top lane.
All right, nicely done there. So that's the 2nd kill of the game. That's the first one that was earned by Excel. They are still behind, and even though they get the kill for us, Infernal Drake goes the way of SK. And when you see Varus, Qiyana, Gragas, Karma, that is a scary opponent. Oh, did we actually get pro view on this?
Okay, what happened here?
Okay, so we're going to be following JerAx.
And credit, again, this dive, very close. So well done from Jessica to Mystique to take a lot of damage. Try to see who was going to go down with them. Round 2 comes in. He's going to get the kills. It's nice of the ultimate to actually stun Jessica off the tower there. Did he just walk back in before the minions get? Oh,
no! That feels bad. You thought the minions were going to move just a little bit quicker than they actually did.
Even the minions are on Excel's side.
See what JerAx sees. Don't do what JerAx does. But look, all jokes aside, this team is still 2,000 gold up. We're nearly 10 minutes in. It's 3-1 on JerAx's Qiyana, 2-0-3 on Crownshot's Varus. They are doing very, very well, and they're in a position to use this composition to just steamroll the next few minutes of the game.
Sakurai, no flash.
Doesn't have flash just yet, is in trouble. Perfect execution available for Mickey if needed. Sakurai continues to run for his life, and that's an easy kill. And Sakurai was just overextended, and that seems to be the punching bag that XL are hammering away on.
Yeah, and maybe some miscommunication there. JerAx obviously new to the roster, kind of in the same vein that Excel haven't had the same amount of time to build up that synergy with their mid laners, Mickey and JerAx coming in very late. And maybe it just looked like a delayed call. Hey, my mid laner's roaming.
Well, here comes Selfmade with the help of JerAx. Equalizer comes
Good
down.
flash.
Very nicely done. Both Selfmade and Expect. The barrel comes out. The stun on Kadril. Ragnarok's available to him. 350 HP. Ultimate comes out. The barrel for a double! Selfmade and SK are looking for playoffs.
And they are just tearing through. Now that bot lane has been set up so beautifully, you can now see that the mid lane is rotating out towards that top side. And surely SK Gaming are eating up all of the control on this map.
Frostgurn, that is exactly what you wanted to see. I said to you, how do SK win this game? And your answer was power, a combination between Selfmade and JerAx. They've synergized multiple times. They've dived bottom. They've dived top. This Qiyana is 3-1-2. And by the way, Mystiques just gets killed once again. I didn't quite see the setup. but everything is going right for SK.
And everything has gone terribly wrong for poor Jessica and Mystiques down here. Ever since level 1, they have now been on the back foot in a lane that usually you have so much control in as Xayah and Rakan, so much safety to pick and choose what you want to do. It's usually just Varus and Tahm Kench like safely pushing waves back and forth.
Well, Varus and Tahm Kench, 110 CS to 71 right now in this bottom lane. 3 turret plates secured as well. An Infernal Drake. The only objective that SK are going to lose right now seems to be the Rift Herald. But look, Abyssal Voyage was thrown down by Dreams. SK aren't even willing to concede this, Frostgurn. Sakurai is going to get jumped on by Mystiques, but can the support from SK make it up in time? Mystiques runs for his life, and this is a party in the top half of the map.
So I have a theory about Rift Herald, and that you just really shouldn't go for it unless you absolutely get it for free, because it takes so long and it feels like teams constantly over-invest in Rift Herald. And even if it does get you a plate gank, the time that it takes to invest in taking Rift Herald, you just lose so much pressure on the map. You lose side lane waves, you lose extra turrets, that I feel like Rift Herald has a really small margin where it's actually worth investing so much. And Excel trying to take it there is like a perfect example how long it takes and how much you lose.
I absolutely love that example and that use case for the cost of Rift Herald, right? The opportunity cost.
I actually went and I was looking at our teams. So outside of G2, because they're a statistical outlier, like our #1 Rift Herald team is teams like Vitality. And you'll usually find that our bottom tier teams usually have a higher percentage of prioritizing Rift Herald. And I just think it's like a trap of an objective. It is too tanky.
And also, I think what you pointed out the best was the amount of time you have to commit, the amount of resources, and what the cost is. How much CS experience turret plates your opponents get?
Dunno.
Dunno.
Who's gonna get it?
Dunno.
Level 10 to level 9.
JerNax goes first. Oh.
He stealths away. This is smart. Now just wait, do it again.
Okay, JerNax, come on. Ignite's
He's waiting for Ignite.
Yeah, Ignite will be up in a few seconds as well. We're literally just waiting for the kill, which is why we're kind of hesitant.
He needs to be careful. Gragas is coming down.
Let's see what Mickey does. He's going to recall. He's got himself the teleport available. Seeker's Arm Guard, as well as that Hextech Revolver. So a little bit of gold to spend. He's up 30 CS over JerNax. Very important to note that right now. Bilgewater Cutlass now added to Mickey's thrift store shopping. And here comes Mystiques. Will this engage work out? Mickey's teleport into the mid lane. Dreams Devour buys some time. The explosive cast separates. Chain of Corruption locks down most of Excel. And SK Gaming escape with their lives.
That said, Excel have done the damage. Now they've rotated Sakurai here to try to absorb a lot of this wave being pushed in. But Excel now get to pick. Do they want to go towards the Rift Herald? Are they going to try to contest the Infernal? Instead, it looks like we're going to be a trade. But again, this Herald is going to take so long to do. I think that they're just inching their pressure away.
Yeah, absolutely the case. We're approaching 15 minutes on the clock here, Frost. SK are up over 5,000 gold. The average gold difference for SK this split has been minus 1,000. This is a phenomenal turnaround in their performance. And looking specifically at Crownshot has been one of the players that has helped push this team ahead. He's currently up 46 CS before 15 minutes. And his highest CSD record before that was plus 32. So a very, very strong start. 2 more towers fall. The gold lead extends even further. It is, however, traded for a top outer.
Yeah, and they did get the Herald. Again, it feels bad, but let's see what they get with the Herald back to try to neutralize some of this time investment, this time sink that they've gotten with it. I think it looks like Caedrel's actually going to try to place it with the Akali. He could also place it in the mid lane and just try to hard force that down.
All right, Sakurai's looking for Mystiques once again, who's 1 and 3. One more mantra. Ooh, just not enough. Mystiques will survive. Okay, Rift Herald with Excel. What do they do to bounce back? Because this has been the SK show from individual laning as well as from Selfmade and JerNax ganking. So how do XL get themselves back in this game?
Excel have to use the Herald now kind of in a side lane. They missed their window where they could try to place it mid lane because if you just place it into a bunch of members, then it basically gets a charge off, it doesn't take the tower down, and then he immediately gets pressured. So that's why you see Caedrel, he's like, I could do it mid, but now it has to be bottom.
Okay, Rift Herald has been summoned. Expected Mickey trying to do a dive. The blast cone over the wall. JerNax will get some support from Sakurai. The boop from the Rift Herald onto the tower, and it's instantly killed. It's wasted anyway, and Caedrel's forced to flash away. His XL just couldn't piece it all together quickly enough.
And reminder, this is now how we judge this as being a poor Rift Herald trade. It was the fact that in the Rift Herald, you lost mid tower, you lost gold and CS on Crownshot, who's already so far ahead. You do get the shutdown on Kiana. We'll see why he was there to begin with. but now you've also lost the top tower, and all you did was get a single charge bottom and burn all of your flashes.
Yeah, exactly the case. And not only did SK get all those advantages during the Rift Herald time, as we crested 15 minutes, they have guaranteed themselves the highest goal difference at 15 minutes
Teleport.
for the team. The highest number of kills at 15 for the team. And now Crownshot is jumping in to help Sakurai out. Kadriel instantly realizes he doesn't want a piece of that. Crownshot gets himself yet another kill. 10 kills to 4. 2 Infernal Drakes, 3 towers. And SK are setting themselves up very well. So now, we're going to go back to Excel. They did not do anything with Rift Herald. They've lost all of the outer turrets. And I guess they just have to play wave clear duty and buy some time.
So we're going to see how Kiana dies here, and it's simply expect Splinter Celling into this brush and just giving him the what's up.
I never played Splinter Cell, but I do understand. I would Metal Gear Solid it.
Pink Panther?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
It's a little bit more my age bracket as Gen X is forced to use the
Well, like
ultimate.
the 40s?
Yeah, exactly. Gen X forced to use the ultimate to escape with his life, and he's doing so.
Okay, at this point, SK Gaming, they feel very strong with Crownshot obviously getting all of this gold. He's got 2 items. His second item was the Hurricane, so more so looking for wave clear and that kind of stacked damage, I guess, in team fights, or I guess I should call it spread damage, rather than going the Rage Blade second and trying to hit like his big power spikes in terms of maximizing the damage he's going to output as a champion.
Ooh. Gen X is in trouble. Mystiques as well as Mickey jumping on the M&M combo, looking for a sweet treat from SK to eat, and Gen X will get run down. Feels like just a matter of time before Mickey will find it. Commits the flash, but does end up securing the kill, and it appears an Abyssal Voyage has now brought SK Gaming to the top. There's no tower to work with.
They're trying to get out.
Okay, will the recalls be cancelled? Yes, they were. Mickey and Mystiques, now teleport's coming down. Could this be a little too late? Jessica's going to jump onto the minion wave and look at the minimap. Here comes the Olaf as well. It's a party in the top lane as the equalizer's thrown out. Selfmade with a helper Crownshot picks up the 11th kill for SK. And Selfmade's going to try to cut off the rest of XK. Flash is available. Flash body slam. Flash body slam on top 4. XL now get locked down by the chain of corruption, but the feathers fly. That will buy some time. Not enough to save Expect's life. And SK get another.
And reminder, Excel could have cut their losses. They opted into that party. Like, no, double down. We're not stuck up here with them. They're stuck up here with us. They pull the teleports, and they lose so many members. The wave is now coming in behind SK Gaming, and they're going to get free damage over this tower.
Yeah, the Baron hasn't even spawned yet, so they can't even peel back for that. SK Gaming will look to chip away this mid-outer turret. And Sakurai, with the help of SK Gaming, doing just a great job to respond to everything XL are throwing at them.
SK Gaming have overstayed, however. They're sitting on a lot of gold that they just picked up in the recent fight, and the Mountain Drake has now just spawned. XL are back on the Rift. They've spent all of their gold, and if they actually just rotate over to this objective, they might be in a better chance to contest for it. But it actually looks like they're going to give it up.
I mean, how much gold are they sitting on? Take a look at their pockets right now. 1,100, 1,800. They have had a chance to spend relatively recently. The 3rd dragon of the game picked up by 19 minutes. Where was this SK all split long?
I mean, I think it was just communication issues. I mean, obviously subbing Purian to Gen X, that made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Anytime you sub a player, you're not just looking at kind of what does player A presses buttons better than player B or anything like that, but it's also just communication with the team, morale. A single player difference makes a massive difference in teams.
And of course, players just showing up in the day. I mean, Crownshot and Dreams have kind of unlocked this game from the start. 6-0-3, 9 of SK's 12 kills, 13 kills, have been picked up by Crownshot in the bottom lane. He and Dreams just outplaying and punishing Jeskla and Mystiques. And by the way, I know that Gen X's family are in the audience today. They're actually watching him play, which is great to see, and especially with how important this game is for postseason.
He's getting the parental buff.
Oh, he is indeed.
He's playing like a madman right now.
Well, let's see if they can close the game out. 20 minutes now gone by. Mystiques once again in a little bit of a precarious situation. Just steps over the vision. Waiting to see if anybody was bold enough to look for Chain of Corruption. And the Tongue Lash won't be in range either. So Mystiques does dance on the edge of death and get away. He's level 8 right now, significantly behind everybody. Dreams has got a 2-level advantage over him.
But the setup is barren. You can see the on-the-way pings from SK Gaming. They have full vision control of the area. Top lane is pushed into them. but they probably feel fine doing that as long as they have mid lane priority, and they will burn down this objective so quickly at this point in the game due to double Infernal and the Mountain.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case, and it is being shredded. The peel away, remember, Gragas Barrel as well as Chain of Corruption. Chain of Corruption locks down Expect. No further follow-up just yet. Roots onto Kadril. Piercing Arrow will thrown out and Expect goes down.
Excel at this point should actually pressure the mid lane and force SK to come out. So they've now smoked them out of the area. Meanwhile, Mickey has gotten all of this free CS and gold over into the top side of the map. He's starting to cut in, possibly take a blue buff.
Okay, will not stop for it just yet. SK are able to respond. Just a reminder, of course, XL, they have been eliminated from playoffs. They are trying to play spoiler to SK, but they are down 6,000 gold. They stopped the Baron this time round, and they have challenged some of the vision. But if you're an Origin fan, Origin are now watching this game with bated breath. Origin play SK Gaming tomorrow. Mickey versus Gen X, round 7.
Ooh, the ult didn't connect.
No, it didn't. The flash from Gen X. That's a dash over the wall from Mickey. The blast going from 2. The chilling spike comes down, and Mickey will go down to Gen X.
And immediately, again, the assist ping for Baron here. SK Gaming didn't commit the entire team and give an opening for Excel. They need to get back over control over mid lane, so they force it all the way down. It's actually a split decision. Look, they think that Excel have gone towards the Baron because they think that that's where they're walking. SK Gaming are like, you're not here to defend this.
No, and that's why SK will take their 4th tower here for free, uncontested. Also, it's important to note, Selfmade held onto his ultimate, so if another engage were to break out, that is a game-changing or fight-changing ability in this stage.
And Excel just cannot get to all of the bleeding points on the map. You can see that Kadril takes the Scuttle Crab. He's now possibly even pulling Excel to try to start this, but meanwhile the bot tower is going down. Mid's on fire, bot's on fire, the Baron's on fire, and Excel can only put one out, one at a time.
Like that, they can't put anything out, I don't think.
They did get Scuttle Crab.
Oh, there we go.
You laugh, but that dissuades some teams. I walk over to Baron like, I guess I can't do anything. Scuttle is
That
here.
is very, very true. But I love this Blast Cone play immediately after the fact. And look how quickly Selfmade is able to respond to back out Gen X.
Yeah, and good job from Mickey to make sure that he isn't against that wall to get hit by the ultimate. That said, he's still way overextended, and it is a 2-man party down here.
Yeah, it really is. Selfmade 207 on this Gragas. When I look back at the draft, it was Kiana Gragas as the first 2 picks. That has unlocked this mid to late game, but crucially for me, the Tahm Kench. During phase 1, Dreams has been playing so incredibly well, but Baron has been started once more.
Now, I said Scuttle Crab would dissuade some teams. SK Gaming want to fight, so they are trying to lure Excel here. And they say, either you come here and we take the Baron, or you come here and we kill you.
All right, Kadril's got Smite and Flash available. The Blast Cone can get used. Selfmade's taken a lot of damage, and he's forced outside of the pit, but XL are completely split up, and if you look at the minimap, Mickey is pushing down in the bottom lane. Baron fights has now become the name of the game, and despite the 8,000 gold lead for SK, they haven't been able to stick around long enough or find the fight to turn.
And while the setup for Baron from SK Gaming can be criticized here, I do like their adaptation to constantly walk down mid lane and continue to force pressure points, but not keeping track of Expect's ult to clear the minion wave. Now SK Gaming are on the back foot, and suddenly it's Excel who have pressure. Look at Mickey.
And of course, with all of the shenanigans and the chaos on the map, keep track of wards and teleports. You know, Selfmade went so low due to the previous engages and the equalizer that there could have been an opportunity for Mickey to TP in and instantly assassinate him. So you got to be very careful with the craziness of the game and the flow. You create opportunities that can be punished.
And Excel are doing a really good job reading what SK Gaming want and not over-committing this time around. They did an excellent job disengaging enough from that Baron and letting the Baron, like you're saying, do the dirty work for them and chunk out Selfmade.
Something I haven't really taken stock of a lot over the course of the game, 25 minutes, is the itemization. The difference here for Jeskla. Essence Reaver and Rapid Fire Cannon versus Morimar Mortius, Blade of the Ruin King, Hurricane, as well as a Vamp Scepter. If you look in the mid lane, well, taking no Crown Shot is about 75 CS up. Gunblade and Hourglass for Mickey versus Duskblade, Ghostblade on the side of Gen X. Now, the Abyssal Voyage will be enough threat to force a flash from Kadril, but every time XL are pressured, it is Mickey that's currently playing the side lane.
And SK Gaming are going to have to get very decisive here. They've started the Baron again. We'll see if they stick to it this time. Because again, Mickey is just getting so many advantages in this bot lane. He has Teleport.
Can XL bring this one back? Teleport is going to come down here, Frostgrone, as you mentioned. But Gen X will be able to blow up Kadril. The Baron is already completed. And there's 4 members of XL. They actually get knocked away by the Gragas barrel, hence the energy dip. And SK get the kill, get the teleport, get the Baron.
Yeah, and now they have the ability to have the faster recall so they can actually protect this wave down here. So there's no forced TP from XL to try to pressure the bot and hit. Suddenly Sakurai is right in position, and SK Gaming were finally decisive about the call. Stick to the Baron. We have Mountain, we have Bork, we have Double Infernal, we can burn it.
Yeah, with SK Gaming, their necks were on the lines. They made a tactical decision at 26 minutes to secure the Baron. Now Mickey's waiting in the wings. He stood right on top of a ward. Genax is going to jump onto him and chase him down, and that may just be a kill. The Ignite will not get him yet, and Mickey's going to survive for now. The base is broken, and Crown Shot will not be bothered as he's taking out the inhibitor for now. There's the body slam barrel. Jessler stays alive, but not long enough. Crown Shot takes him out with the piercing arrow, and now the Nexus will be the focus. SK Gaming have 2.5 minutes on the Baron buff. SK Gaming have a chance at playoffs, and they will not give it up. The Nexus turret has fallen. Cadril is stepping forward and running away. Crown Shot trying to back up for now, and Mickey's trying to zone him away.
Yeah, the next wave is coming in, so they're just buying the time. They go in.
All right, Equalizer comes down. Crown Shot goes low. Chain of Corruption starts to spread, but it'll only catch down Cadril. The Nexus is the target. XL go down, and SK keeps their hopes of playoffs alive.
And big smiles, it feels like finally for the S Gaming crew here. Even Selfmade, a bit of a smile.
That was a very good game for SK. With Vitality's loss earlier, it means SK are looking to defeat Origin tomorrow, and they are hoping Schalke do them a solid. Their sister German team helping out by taking down Vitality. If those two things happen, you can see a tiebreaker game with SK and Vitality.
And you're starting to see the pieces come together for SK Gaming that the squad wish were there in the beginning. Genax is working so much better with Selfmade. Crown Shot and Dreams are so consistent on this roster, and Sakurai is getting to do what Sakurai does every time, which is range top laner.
Now, I'm a little bit disappointed in XL. I really started to buy into the development and growth of the performance. I don't think we got to see the level that XL are, have been showing us in recent weeks. Do want to give a shout out to Cadril, though, who will be joining us for Splice vs Fnatic and Origin vs Rogue. Despite the loss, help us break down that game and give us his perspective. But for XL, we knew their playoff run was out. Today, they could not play spoiler to SK.
And just too many things went wrong in the early game for XL to really find their footwork. I think that there was some clever vision placement for Selfmade hiding his jungle pathing that helped out this, but Jessica and Mystique unfortunately took the wrong step in that early level 1 play. Things really fell apart in the bot lane, and it really spread everywhere. As soon as Qiyana has 2 kills because of bot lane, suddenly Mickey's not feeling great in that mid lane.
There are 2 sides to every story for us, Skurin, because while Jessica and Mystique's made the wrong steps, Crown Shot and Dreams were able to punish, and we actually have some replays of the SK highlights from the bottom lane. And I guess you could call them lowlights, but again, like good flash from Crown Shot, and you have to wonder, do you need to go that aggro at level 1?
And the fact that it's happened multiple times. Now, I will say this, that I've really loved watching Jessica and Mystique evolve and grow over the course of the time in the LEC. Obviously, a play like that, it's very easy to point the finger, but you know,
like I said,
fool
tails,
me once,
right?
shame on me, fool me twice.
I mean, you said it, we've seen this from Jessica and Mystique's earlier in the split. I'm really happy to see that Crown Shot and Dreams are able to punish it. And these tower dives, I hope they cut away just before the final kill though.
The ultimate to also snag up Jessica there off the tower.
Yeah.
Cut away!
Jessica.
No, cut away!
I think he forgot what side he was on, looking at the blue side minions. Nevertheless, Genax went on to pop off throughout the course of the game. 9 towers to 1, 17 kills to 5. The gold graph tells it all. It really was a one-sided match.
Yeah, and I do want to give credit to SK Gaming's draft phase, realistic coach standing behind them. I think you were playing fire with fire. You knew it was either going to be the Akali or the Qiyana. You were going to get one of them. They got the Qiyana, the Gragas, second rotation on red side. Probably felt very good and executed very well.
The biggest thing for me is that every time the Qiyana was any sort of engaged in the mid stages of the game, it felt like Selfmade was around. It felt like there was support. So they had the pick, but they were playing it well. Look, let's do key play of the game suggestions. Head over to @LML Esports. You got Genax, Crown Shot, and Dreams. This was a really tough one for me because I think 4 out of 5 SK players probably could have been eligible.
Genax.
Fair. I'll give you that one. I mean, fantastic performance. And also, it was the Gen X substitution that has saved. I use the word very loosely.
Revitalized.
Thank you. Much better. Revitalized at the cost of vitality, of course. Look, we've got Law sitting down with Crownshot. Let's see what he has to say.
Thanks, guys. Crownshot, thank you for joining me. Tell me about watching the Vitality game earlier, because I bet you were the biggest Misfits fan.
Well, yeah, we were pretty happy when we saw that Misfits got the Baron and started winning, because we knew we still had a chance to make playoffs.
Tell me about playing red side today when you saw that XL chose blue, because you didn't win a single game on red side this split.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of problem drafting from red side, but this time it worked out. They didn't ban any AD carries after we picked Tankens, so it was pretty good.
What I found interesting is that among all the LEC teams, you're the team who playing the most champions. So I'm wondering, why didn't you stick to one thing that was winning? Because switching so many situations must have felt complicated.
I think this shows that we were not really sure like what style fits us the best. We were just trying a lot of stuff during the season, and I guess we're finally like kind of getting the hang of it.
Okay, can you tell me what is your style then, if you found it now?
I mean, just a lot of skirmishing. I think we play the best if Oscar is on self-made, is on something that can make plays, because we usually rely on him finding like opportunities. So yeah.
All right, now, the playoff dream is still alive. I know I said that every time we have an interview, but to be fair, being pessimistic has paid off for you guys until now. So let's take a look at the standings here. To remain the playoff dream alive, you have to win against OG tomorrow. Vitality have to lose their game. So what is your mindset knowing this schedule?
I mean, we just focus on each game at a time, and if it ends up that we are not in playoffs, it's because we didn't win enough games, but we will just try our best and see what happens.
And now Vitality are going to have to play Schalke. Schalke is in really, really good shape right now, and they locked in playoffs. So what do you think is going to happen between these two?
Well, I would say Schalke will win. I think they're a very good team at playing through bot, and I think they're very controlled when ahead. So I think Schalke will win.
Then it should be good for you. Then now, tell me about having to play knowing that no mistake is allowed anymore.
I mean, I think we play better when we feel like there is not much pressure left on us, and we just like are not scared to make plays. I think it showed in spring, and I think it showed now.
Do you know why, though? I mean, it's interesting. Not all teams are like that, and usually it's something that you could expect from top-tier teams. So can you explain this?
I don't know. I think the deeper it goes into a season, the more we get like comfortable with stage and playing our picks. So I think that helps us a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, then you should reach your final from tomorrow. Now, last question. Last week, when I had an interview with Selfmade, I asked him to rate your chances to make playoff. He said 4, maybe 5. I just took the 5. So tell me now, did the grade change?
I'd say 7, 8.
Well, I'll trust this one, and thank you very much for the interview. We're going to take a break, and coming back, it's going to be match of the week, Splyce versus Fnatic. Stay tuned, guys.
It's an underdog story.
It is indeed. That's a flash blown already, but is Mystique's in trouble? There's a Devour potential in a moment. That's a flash forward. One more auto will do it.
Round 2.
JerAnax has made the roam down bottom. He's got himself an ultimate. Will not be enough just yet, but the follow-up kit is. Can XL bring this one back? Teleport is going to come down here, Frostgrone, as you mentioned, but GenX will be able to blow up Cagel. The Baron is already completed.
The next wave is coming in, so they're just buying the time they go in.
All right, Equalizer comes down. Crownshot goes low. Chain of Corruption starts to spread, but it'll only catch down Cagel. The Nexus is the target. XL go down, and SK keeps their hopes of playoffs alive.
I'm Dracos,
I'm Frostgrone.
and we're going to be answering questions in sneakers. Answering questions in sneakers.
What do your parents think you do?
Interpretive dance instructor.
Okay. My mom thinks I'm a star of the YouTubes.
Oh, your mom's such a...
One more drink, one more Bacardi, one more dance at this after party. We said